Hi, this is Sean D'Souza, and you're listening to the 3-Month Vacation Podcast. This podcast isn't some magic trick about how to work less. Instead, it's about how to really enjoy the work that you do and to enjoy your vacation time. Hi, it's Sean, and you're listening to the 3-Month Vacation. Recently, we had a meetup in Frankfurt. We had decided that we were only going to meet 15 people, and right in the city, right in the heart of Frankfurt, at the Amaron Hotel, those 15 people showed up. And the reason why we have 15 people is because that gives us enough time to meet everyone and have a chat with everyone if possible. But one of the people that showed up early was Mark. A lot of the products that we put out are in a text format. Some of it is like this in audio, and some portions are in video. Mark had been watching the video, and he wanted the transcript. And very few people require a transcript, but Mark Brodsky was one of them. He wrote to me, he asked me for it, and, it just costs such a lot to have transcripts and so few people use them that we announce in advance that there will be no transcripts for videos or for very long workshops or audios. And it's a form of bureaucracy, but it's also a form of understanding where to allocate your resources, in this case, monetary resources. So we don't have those transcripts. But that didn't stop Mark. He told me quite excitedly that he had found a service that transcribed videos and that his problem was solved and that I didn't have to bother about the transcription anymore. At that moment in time, there were a lot of people, and I didn't make a note of the service because I thought I'll just get to Mark later. But I didn't. We got on a plane to Vancouver, back to New Zealand, and almost a month has passed. And today, I was listening to a podcast and I thought, wow, this is the perfect ending for a book that I'm writing, which is on talent. So I wanted to tell that story and put it at the end of the book, but I would have to transcribe all of it. And I was in Mark's shoes at this moment in time. But the world has changed so much in the last few months that I thought, wait, maybe there is a solution. Maybe there is a solution that already exists. So I went on YouTube. I looked for the story, and sure enough, there it was. And as you probably know, YouTube transcribes everything. There's an auto transcript. If the speaker is clear enough and slow enough, then YouTube will transcribe it for you. And there are little buttons there which says show transcript. And then if you look at the top, on the right-hand side, there are 3 little dots, and you can see the entire transcript and then copy the transcript. You have to select all of it, and you copy the transcript. Now, this is where the problem begins, because that transcript is line by line by line by line, and it could go on forever. And you have to read it that way, and it's not easily readable. When we write whatever we do, we use paragraphs because paragraphs are a form of, this group of letters and words, and then there is a space, and then the next paragraph. This line by line by line by line, it just makes the eye have to jump so much. So it's really unreadable. Anyway, I had tools. I have a software which I've used for many years called Text Soap. And if you take it into Text Soap and you just run it into Text Soap, it'll put all the lines together, it'll tidy up everything. And it did. But there was another problem. When it did the transcription, all the I's, as in I went to school, I did this, and I did that, they were all lowercase, and then there were other glitches all in the text. So I took it to another software, which is Grammarly. And when I posted it in Grammarly.com, it said there are no errors, which was annoying because it hadn't fixed all of those quite obvious errors that were in the text. And I don't know why it was not doing it, but it wasn't. So I went to Chat GPT and I said, I've got a little problem for you. I've got this text. Can you clean it up for me? And yeah, I posted it in Chat GPT. Guess what happened? You know what happened, don't you? It tidied up everything. And it even understood the context. In this story, this guy talks about a concept called tics, as in TICS, which are little annoyances. And when we had the transcript that came from YouTube, the spelling of tics was TICKS. But ChatGPT understood that there was a difference between TICK and TIC. It understood the context. It cleared up all of the text, and it cleared up all the errors in the spelling and all the context issues. And there you had it. You had the entire sequence. So let me go over it again. I went to YouTube. I looked for show transcript. When I clicked on that, what you get is copy transcript. You copy, you select it, and you go right to the bottom. You then skip all the steps that I took and go straight to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to fix it. Now there's a word limit on ChatGPT, I think, and therefore I had to cut one half of it and then do the second half. But it did it in a couple of minutes. Now this is useful for many reasons. The first is it gets the spellings right. It gets the context right. But also what's happening is that if you've got a podcast and say you can't afford to do transcripts for all of it, maybe you don't write a script. Sometimes we write a script. Sometimes I just do it ad hoc like I'm doing right now. What I could do is then post it on YouTube, get the transcript, and go through this whole Chat GPT routine. And let's say you have a series of products like we did, and we don't want the public to see it. Well, you can still post it on YouTube privately. And then when you're done, what you've got is all of your transcript, and you can get the video off YouTube, and you're done. And that's kind of how this whole routine was. Very quick, very efficient, and very contextual for me. And I think it will be for you as well. We're all unsure where AI is going, but in this case, it saved me a lot of time. I had the resources, they didn't work, and AI fixed it for me. So there you go. Try it for yourself. I'm so glad that Mark brought it up, and I know, even in this transcript, I will have to fix it because it'll go and spell Mark as M-A-R-K, and it is M-A-R-C. Thanks, Mark, and thanks for listening. We'll see you in 5000 BC. Bye-bye. Still listening? Well, you may not know it, but when we do this podcast, we also have a system that delivers the podcast to YouTube. It's all in audio, there's no video. But that's kind of given me an idea. When we just do an audio like this and there's no transcript, then I can go there and go through all of these steps, and so can you. I'm really excited by things like this, really. I went back home and I told Renuka, and she goes, "You're so excited." Yes, I am. Really excited, because not only did it do the job, but it did it better and faster. And to me, that's an improvement. Thanks again, and bye for now.